So, welcome back, boys. Yeah, today I had a good setup here on Volatility 51S. This was a sell setup that I got by simply following one of the two rules that I told you previously. So, first of all, H1 or the H4, whatever high time frame that you want, and you want to look at the general trend. You don't want to look at just the. Most people will only look at this part over there. Most people will just look at this part, right? From here up to here. Then they say, we are selling. No, you want to look at the general trend. What is the general trend currently? You are seeing that it's doing what? It's selling, right? Now, since the general trend is selling, where would I want to sell? So you go to the low time frames. The M15, you want to look at it. What is it generally doing? If you observe, the M15 was doing what? Was selling, because we're having higher highs and higher lows. The lower highs and then lower lows, right? So it's generally selling. M15 is generally selling. Now, with that in mind, where would you put your entry for a sale? That is the question that we want, right? So I usually go to the M5 to look for entries, right? So in the M5, we are entered. Yes, so at this area, that's where I entered my positions here, and then I was scalping for all this massive sale. So it is, in principle, this was around, if I were to calculate the TP, this could have been some good pips, okay? So, I drop from here. Okay, so basically we see that price has formed the continuation. So we had a drop from here. Price dropped 2,000 points, right? This was a 2,000. So a 2,000 people drop. This was a 2,000 people drop. With V51, its market is a bit sketchy, I would say, because it can drop out of the blue, right? But for people who wanted like another sniper entry, I would advise that you look for like a pattern. The next pattern that you can look for is probably this one. So if you observe, price hasn't yet touched the bottom. So if you have to draw something like this, you see that this is like a downtrend, right? This is like a down channel, right? In the down channels, price will likely first touch the bottom before it pushes up, right? What I mean by this, let me first remove this. What I mean is that price first comes here, right? And then it comes here, right? That's the third time. So we're expecting another push. Expect another push to come from here. That's where we expect to take our entries for what? For buys. That's where we're looking for our entries for buys. But beyond that, we can just simply wait for price to give us that drop. So, as I've told you, you can go to the high time from the H1. In the H1, what I saw, actually, let me put my stop loss just above this drop-based drop. I don't want to see price come above this drop-based drop. So that's around $3 profit for this one. But I'm quite confident that price will reach that final TP down there, right? I'm quite confident because let's wait for, we had a break. If you observe over there, price made a break. Price came here, it made a break, a retest. So this was a break of structure. Then it made for a continuation, a pullback, and then afterwards we're expecting a continuation push to the downside. So this is like $27 in profit if we are to hold up to there. But so far, if you observe, for today's profit, it has been $600, and this was made purely off of selling V51s. So we are currently, the account is currently at 1k. Okay, so from around 200 we're now in 1k. So this is good news, though we don't know what gold will do for us tomorrow, because tomorrow at midnight, don't know what gold will push, but it is what it is. So yeah, I told you that the overall trend for this pair was bearish. Most people, I think the issue that most people have, yeah. So basically, most people just look at from here up to here and they think, oh, price is bullish. They forget that price can easily change after you have a trend line break. For instance, I want you guys to observe this, right? So we had this is the first trend line that I can draw. Okay, so price may retest this trend line. The second trend line that we had, which was broken, was this trend line over here. So if you join these 2 points, you see that price already made a break of this trend line, right? We already had a break, a retest. Now after that retest, we're expecting a push to the downside, right? So this push can take all the way up to here. That's around $58. $58, guys. Imagine $58. And all it takes is just for you to be what? Patient. As simple as that. Here it's just a waiting game, right? Just a waiting game. But imagine that $58 just doing nothing. Like, just I think this is where most people lose out, because they crash out from the small pips. Look at this. This is almost like a 10k pip move, right? This is a 10k pip move on the pair. Only here is just around 2k, right? So you're missing out almost a potential 10k move on this pair, right? And also, if you observe, we have a level of support over here. This is a level of resistance turned into potential support. So I'm expecting something like this. All right, this is what I'm seeing on this market. A push there down, and then if price has enough momentum, it may push from here, right? But we know that so far, at least we know that price has already started to shift structure, because we had a minor break from, I don't want to complicate and give out this impression that I know everything. I'm just giving you an analysis on the technical side, right? We already had the break of structure, the break of the trend line, so I'm expecting another good drop. So yeah, let's wait a bit. This is around $56, but the first TP could be around $23, because this is another area of great resistance in the market. So price may find it hard to break this area easily. So yeah, that's what we are looking for here. So I'll leave this trade to run probably up to tomorrow, then I shall be updating you. For another pair which I wanted to show you is the V100. The issue with it is that you cannot see it very clearly. So you want to go to the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, as you can see, price is what? Price is bearish on the daily time frame. So you go to the low time frame, the M15. You want to look at for the structure confirmation that price is going to do what? To continue that selling pressure. But on the M15, you see that price is undergoing what? A correction. So the M15, price is undergoing a correction. So if you draw a trend line here on the M15, you observe that we have this sort of trend line, which is being respected right now, right? But price hasn't. So let's just wait for this sell. Already have that trend line in place. The M5, but it has already touched the trend line, so let me just sell.